Elijah Fisher, Leonard Miller, and Shaedon Cross are putting up huge scoring performances. The top Canadian high school prospects are visiting and getting offers from the top American schools. Meanwhile, the top NCAA players are angling themselves towards the NBA. All that and more on this inaugural episode of the Canadian Basketball News. There have been some huge scoring displays for Canadian high school prospects over the last month. Leonard Miller goes for 46 and 17 on the grind session in Arizona. Hudson Ward goes for back-to-back 50-point games in Edmonton. Shaedon Cross goes for 57 in OSBA play. And then Elijah Fisher decides to top it all with 8 threes and 75 points, a new OSBA record. The writing for Elijah's 75-point game was on the wall. He's been putting up huge performance after huge performance, averaging 36 points per game and leading the OSBA in scoring. Elijah actually just visited Texas Tech and has some more big-time visits coming up. He's going to have to decide after this year whether to stay in high school, whether to go to college, or whether to decide to go pro. He's going to have all those options available to him, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does. On top of all these massive scoring performances have been some huge games featuring top 5 teams in Canada. Recently, Royal Crown traveled to the US and beat top-ranked Mikey Williams and Vertical Academy. They've been on a tear, going undefeated in OSBA play, including defeating Orangeville twice. Royal Crown has been so hot, they've even gotten the attention of rap superstar Drake, who attended one of their games recently. Another team that's been really hot is Fort Erie. They haven't lost in months in OSBA play. They went from beating United Scholastic in overtime, giving them their first top 5 loss of the season, to beating another top 5 team in Crestwood last week. Despite an early shoving match between the teams, all the top prospects showed out. Elijah Fisher, Leonard Miller, Shaedon Cross, Jaden Clayton, and Isaac Jack all put up huge performances. And Jaden Clayton showed why he's up for being the top point guard in Canada at the moment. A product of Fort Erie's momentum has been superstar Leonard Miller receiving his 11th high major offer, most recently from Arizona State. He's been hearing from a ton of the top programs in America, and I expect every top high major school to offer him within the next few months. 11 seems to be Leonard's lucky number, as On3 recruits recently put him as the number 11 prospect in all of America, above Amari Bailey, who recently played for Team USA and is committed to UCLA. As a prep year player, it's not a foregone conclusion that Leonard Miller is going to even go to college. He's going to have a lot of opportunities, including playing for the G League Ignite, playing pro overseas, or going to the NBA draft, if NBA teams show that level of interest and probably give him a first-round promise. Another highly rated player, Jimma James, a 2023 point guard, recently received his first high major offer from Washington State. He's ranked 97th on Rivals, and I expect that to rise. Jimma is currently playing at Huntington Prep and hasn't been talked about as one of the top Canadian prospects coming up, probably because he came out of Windsor. But Jimma is having a great year and has really high upside. He has an NBA skill set, elite vision, and great rhythm as a ball handler. Out of Orangeville, 6'3" point guard Jefferson Monegro, a 5-leaf prospect, recently received an offer from Wyoming, who's one of the better mid-major teams. In fact, right now they're ranked 22nd, and they've had a history of developing really good guards, so that would be a great fit for Jeff. Jefferson's teammate Jeremy Fumena, a 6'10" center and another 5-leaf prospect ranked in the top 5 of the 2022 class, recently visited UCF, the University of Central Florida. He has more visits lined up with some of the top teams in America. And finally, 2022 point guard Anthony Wajesh, who plays at Wasatch in Utah, has committed to Sam Houston State. And that leads me to college news. There's no more compelling story in college basketball right now than Shaedon Sharpe. Sharpe, a 6'5" shooting guard at the University of Kentucky, decided to leave high school early, mid-year in his prep year, to go to Kentucky and decide to sit on the bench and practice with the team. It still remains to be seen whether Sharpe, who is eligible for the 2022 draft, will leave without playing a college game or will remain at Kentucky and play the 2022-2023 season there before heading to the 2023 NBA draft. Currently, Sharpe is touted as a top 10 prospect in this year's draft. It would be hard to pass that up, but I know his camp believes in long-term development, and it will be really interesting to see if he plays through at Kentucky or if he stays and goes to the draft. Another Canadian that's been climbing the ranks and looks like he's going to be a top 10 pick is Arizona sophomore guard Ben Mathurin. Mathurin is having a huge season, shooting really effectively from the field, shooting it great from deep, with a quick trigger and great height on his jumper. For more information on Ben, you can see my scouting report linked right here. Two underrated NBA prospects that I love that are putting up huge performances recently are Zach Edey and Andrew Nembhard. Edey, a 7'3" center, is one of the most efficient players in all of college basketball. And Andrew Nembhard is showing that when he gets to the NBA, he's going to find a way to affect every single game. Whether it's a 14-assist game like he had recently, or a 21-8-6 performance that he had the other night, he's always going to find a way to produce and positively affect the outcome of the game. And that's all for this first edition of the Canadian Basketball News. Look out for me at the Platinum Circuit February 25th weekend and the OSBA playoffs March 4th to 6th. I'm Wes Brown, signing off.